Welcome back everybody. Okay, so we've gotten to the time where we are going to do the Monster SVS system. Before we start, guys, if you have been enjoying this SVS series, please hit the like, subscribe and share. Cost you nothing, helps me out tremendously. Okay, into it. What are we going to do of this system? I'm going to make the front stage where I can swap over between the first and the second preset. The first preset is going to be the prime or whatever you want, the prime or the ultra. I'm going to make the first one the prime, I'm going to make the second one the ultra. As you can see, I've got the fronts and I've got the big boys. The small primes I've got to the side. I don't really have a job for them at the moment. I'll drag them in as I need them to demonstrate to clients. Also, this is going to be temporary. We are moving, so this setup is just for now, because moving does take maybe 3 months to get one house sold and another one bought. I was thinking of using the small primes as front wides, but the Cinema 40 and 50, you can only do 11 channels and we need 13 channels to do what I want to do and front wides. So for now they will not be front wides. Centers, I can switch over between the two of them. As you can see, they're both in the cabinet. The only sub in this system is the PB16 Ultra. I would love to have more, but for now that is it. When the 17 comes in, guys, we will do a video between the 17 and the 16. Just want to see what that beast is going to cost and when we are getting it. It's not going to be cheap. Okay, so what do we have? Surrounds, we have the Ultra bookshelves. Rear surrounds, we have the prime bookshelves. Heights, we have the elevation ultras and the normal elevation primes. So that is what this system consists of, 11 channels. I'm going to be calibrating now. Here's my microphone. I'm going to grab my laptop, do D-Rack. I will also go through and show you as I'm doing it what you sort of need to look for. I know I've done a D-Rack video before, but I'll do one again. I want to show you a low quality surround speaker compared to a high quality surround speaker and how it gets to its limits very quickly. Okay, let me calibrate. I'll be back. Okay guys, as you can see, I have level matched all my speakers very closely to 32 dB or minus 32 dB. Quick tip, you want to drag your master volume up. You can still play around with the mic gain, but I found if master volume goes up and your mic gain stays at the default, you get a nice not too loud across the board here, because you don't want it too soft and you don't want it too loud. So now this is level matched. I quickly want to show you guys the difference between a good and a bad speaker. Okay guys, so before I start calibrating the system, I've level matched the speakers as you can see now. Calibration will start soon. That's about an hour and a half of tedious work. I want to show you the difference between a small good speaker and a small bad speaker, quality versus quantity type of thing. I've changed all the small speakers now to big speakers. These were the old Bentley FR50s I still had there. I've now removed them through all of my systems and replaced them with good quality speakers. I also have an old very small Jamo speaker that I've used in the past as well. 4 of these are still in my Clips THX room on the ceiling, because I don't want to cut ceiling speakers in there with the fiber optics in the ceiling. When I move, that will change, or those will just stay there for the next owner. I'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to run the calibration sweeps through these, and I'm quickly going to grab another bigger bookshelf just to show you guys the differences. And you can hear, so you can get away with the small speakers to an extent, and then you get to the limits. You can calibrate them not to play certain frequencies, but you'll always get a bit of distortion depending on how high you cross them and what volumes you push through them. Let me demonstrate. Start from that side, because your frequency sweep always starts from the front left speaker. Let's start with the small Bentley acoustic. Okay, I'm going to grab my laptop and let's do the sweeps and listen to what the speaker does. Okay, could you hear how the speaker gets to the top end and it completely starts distorting? So funny enough, that's not just only the bottom end, on the top end as well. So you're going to have to do a lot of calibration. It will work, but not ideal. Let's go over to the small jammer, do the same test. I'm going to do this live. I will not change any audio volume or anything. So you guys can see this is real time. I just don't know how I'm going to make these banana plugs fit in the small jammer. I might need to disconnect these. So let's do the clips first that can accept bananas. These are the small clips. These are the R50Ms. So, you know, a very budget orientated speaker as well. You can get the height speakers instead of these that work a charm. I've used them many times to success. So let's do this one. Same frequency sweep. Here we go. Okay. So as you could hear, none of that distortion that we had with the first speaker. I'm quickly going to get these banana plugs off so we can get the wires in there, and we will test the smaller speaker out of the bunch. Okay, here we have this small little jammer connected now. So took the banana plugs off, connected the bare wires because they had little spring clips. So smaller speaker of the bunch. Let's do the same test to that and see what it does. Okay guys, as you can see, again, no distortion. So what I'm trying to say here, it's not always about the size of the speaker, but the quality of the speaker. Make sure you have high quality speakers or your system will lack. Now, if you've upgraded from your old Sony Mateki or something, thinking you can use the small speakers as surrounds, technically you can, but don't be that guy. Get yourself a good quality speaker or plan on upgrading them next. So as this demo showed you now, some speakers that are not proper quality will distort and will give you artifacts and things you don't want in that movie. The last thing you want is listening to a movie, enjoying everything, and then you get some loud bangs from above and it's like distortion. Don't want that. Okay guys, so let me carry on with this calibration. I'll show you everything when I'm done. Sorry, then lastly, if anyone wants the last few sets of Bentley Acoustics FR50s, drop me an email or a WhatsApp. I'll give them to you basically for free. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 sets that I've taken down. Guys, hit me up. They will go quick. You can use them for all sorts. Bit of surround, bit of heights. Just don't expect too much. But I mean, it's something to get you by for chips. These are the clips. Also got a set of them still left that can go. What else? That's it for now. As I go, I'll list the demo stuff I have for sale. I find it interesting that off the bat it gave me a 9.5 dB bump. I normally add the 10 dB curve, so I'm just going to look into this and see if it's still necessary and why it bumped it that much. Interesting. Only on the front stage. On all the others it did not bump. It kept it at a 0 dB curve. There's our subwoofer. That is also bumped by 5 dBs. So I'm going to run it like this because I would have run a 10 dB curve boost in any case, and that's 9.5 left, right, and center is a bit less. So let's see. Maybe the new D-Rack has sort of made it that you don't need to add the curb. If I don't feel enough impact, I will add the curb and see what that does. Advanced bass control doing its thing. Okay, so day one of the calibration is complete. The Ultra system has now been calibrated. I have tested it, fine-tuned it. It's sounding absolutely phenomenal. Um, Funny enough, I did not need that 10 dB curve. I can still load it, but the way that D-Rack did it was very close to my liking. Again, if you're going to be setting up a D-Rack system properly, allow yourself about 3 hours. After doing all of the sweeps, measuring the speakers, level matching, checking the curves, bass control, and then sitting and fine tuning the system afterwards. It takes a long time. My ears now are absolutely knackered. I wanted to continue now to do the prime, but my ears can't handle anymore. When you're doing those sweeps, try be out the room. For me, it was a bit difficult. My HDMI cable to the mic is not long enough, so I need to be in the room, and it's bad, hey. So not good for your hearing. I do not advise it if you're de-racking outside the room if you can. But yeah, sounding phenomenal. We can do a quick little test on the Ultra system now. I'll do some Dolby Atmos demo on the demo disc that they don't get flagged, so that's good. And then tomorrow evening I will do the Prime system and do that same demo for you guys again, so you can A/B them back to back if you want to go back and forth and listen to the differences. Yes, so let's do the demo. hope you enjoyed that. As you could see, this disc is in DTSX. Absolutely phenomenal track. I love to use that to test. Put your earphones on. I doubt you're going to hear it on your speakers or your surround sound. Earphones are amazing for this, because I also, when I do my editing, I use my Bowen Wilkins headset. You will hear those fireflies moving around. You will hear the left and right. You will hear above you. It's absolutely phenomenal, and that's how you can properly test, is with your earphones, because my mic is directional and it picks up every little sound. Even if one of my dogs bark outside, I can hear where that dog is, at the back, left, right. Even when I'm doing editing and one of my guys came in the door while I'm busy filming, I can hear the door open to the left and I get a fright. That's how accurate the microphone is. Okay guys, that's going to be it for tonight. I will carry on tomorrow night with the Prime system. For the guys that have been asking, can you build an SVS system to be theater like? What I mean by that is a proper cinema system, like the Bowen Wilkins CT7s, the Clips THX, MK, and so forth and so forth. Guys, after what I've heard now, calibrating, yes, hell yes, you can. This system is so darn smooth and accurate and violent if you want it to be. It can hold its own easily. So that's so far for the Ultra system. I am insanely impressed. We'll see if the Prime can come close to that with calibration. I think it can, but it can't beat it. I'm very sure it can't. These Ultra speakers are absolutely phenomenal. But that being said, they aren't cheap. You are coming in the same price. I was sitting while I was calibrating now, working out exactly my spend on the system. You are working at the same price as the MK or the THX and the like. You know why? Because you are doing the hulking big fronts. If you cut those out and you go for the Ultra bookshelf, that's going to be a big save. Then you're down on money again. But then add again the sub, and I would say maybe adding two. One in this room is good, but I do miss my directional bass. So yeah, 4 will be better. When I get the 17, I might put it back that side, but by that time we might have moved. So let's see, guys. Okay, that's it for tonight. Let's carry on tomorrow night and we will wrap this video up. Okay guys, here we are on to the Prime calibrations. I ran all of it now. As you can see on the fronts now, it's only boosting at about 6.3 dB, so you can see how much more powerful the Ultra is. Same for that one. What does the center do? Center 7.5 dB at around 40 hertz. What was the hertz on the front? That's down low. Yo, just over 20 hertz. This is quite impressive. This is quite impressive. Surrounds. Okay, surrounds, a little bit of a boost. Little bit of a boost. Surround back. Even more boost. Sure. It's a lot different than the Ultra calibration. There's almost nothing there, but you don't want too much boost from those tops. Okay, subwoofer. 6.5 dB boost. I think that is about the same as it did on the Ultras. Okay, so I'm going to proceed and do advanced bass. This takes a while. I will do this and then I will get back to you guys after. Okay, so it's the next evening. I have spent about 2 hours now calibrating up the Prime system. And just spent about another hour now going through different clips and all of that to make sure that it's sounding good, and it sounds phenomenal. Quite honestly, both of these sound phenomenal, but as you can see in the graphs I'm going to post, the Ultra is just a more powerful speaker, and D-Rack also feels safer pushing it more. So you can definitely hear the difference between the front stage on the Ultra and the Prime. The Prime, it can be very bright easily. The Ultra is also a bright speaker, but not as bright as the Prime. So what I would recommend is your cinema EQ, if you're using Denon or Marantz, put it on just to roll that high-end treble just off slightly, so it's not as sharp. That takes away a lot. I know there's a guy on Facebook I've been helping, I think it's on the SVS, one of the pages, and he was complaining that the Ultras are too bright. So I told him to download the Odyssey app. He's not using D-Rack. D-Rack's even better. But Odyssey app instead of the normal, and then go through there and you can do a few different things, put that mid-range compensation off, and then yeah, it sounds a lot better than just doing Odyssey the normal way. But okay, so apart from the brightness and that, you can feel more power on the front stage of the Ultras by far. Integration of the sub on both of them is amazing, and I highly recommend D-Rack's advanced bass control. It is just, it makes any sub blend in so well, and with something like the PB16 Ultra, it blends in well, but it's so low. Some of the scenes I watched, there's a few I always go to. Greatest Showman, where it's Zach and Zendaya, and they do the whole thing, where she goes up in the air and that sack comes down. It comes down in the left rear, so you hear on the surround, but it hits the floor. Goosebumps again, these never lie. It hits the floor with such impact, but not in a sense that it is a bass. Like some subs will just hit a certain frequency, and if the bag drops, it's boom. That makes it drop, so it sounds like a bag drop, and you feel the weight. You're not hearing the bass, you feel the weight, as if that bag is dropping, and how it will feel in the floor. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. Love that sub and what it can do, and I'm only like trickling on it. It's set to almost nothing. Can't wait for that 17. That's gonna be a beast. But stay tuned for when that video comes in, when we get it, and how much it's gonna cost. Okay, so what did I not touch on? Surrounds and heights, all of that more or less the same. Funny enough, I found on D-Rack, you'll see again in the picture I post, that the surrounds were boosted a little bit compared to absolutely flat on the Ultras. So I think what that points to is D-Rack again noticing that the front stage was stronger on the Ultra, keeps those flat, and then on the Prime it notices that it can bring those in. If there's power there, it can bring them in to help lift up that smack a bit. So yeah, that is basically it, guys. Both of these systems, again, like I say, very, very good. Just comes down to what you want to spend, what you want to achieve. If I can put it in percentage, on the normal Prime, if I should call that 80% performance, being very good. The Titans, I would give 10% more on a 90% performance. Good, but almost overachieving a little bit. Shall we call it overachieving? No, good and better. They just ran correctly. There's just a huge price gap between these speakers. Again, like I said in the comparison between them, it's in South African rands, it's 60,000 and 160,000. So there's 100,000 rand difference. So if I take that into equation, I might just be happy with the Prime, and add a big hulking sub, because movie is sub. That's sub. You can't replace that with any speaker. How low and how hard that hits. But if you can afford the Ultras, go out, splurge, enjoy it. I don't know, I'm going to switch between these. I have them now on preset 1 and preset 2. So I'll switch between now and then. I'll listen to the Ultra. If I want to switch up again, I'll go to the side. And then I can let clients as well, when they come to demo, this is the purpose. When they come to demo these systems, I can quickly switch over my calibration and demo the Prime calibrated and demo the Ultra calibrated. And to let you know what a big difference that makes. For some reason, and guys, notice if you're doing your uploads from D-Rack on Marantz and Denon, when I do the calibration and or do the advanced base control, and I'm now going to load it to one of the presets, and it loads to the unit, and the unit does this clicky sound and like all done, you would think that that file is now loaded. It's not. You still need to go into DRAC and select it, and every time it was the one that's not been loaded. It keeps the one that was in memory. I would think if you're loading it up, it would tell it, go use this, but it doesn't. So go and select it. And because I was listening to the same demo tracks, and I thought it sounds super bright, like fatiguingly bright. And then I thought, let me go and check the calibration file, and it was still the Ultra SVS loaded. So I switched over to the Prime, and boom, mellowed out, perfect, none of that brightness. Because the calibration boosts the Ultra a bit to have more high. So that same high gets applied to that, and it's overly pronounced. So guys, I always recommend calibrate up your systems. Get yourself a nice little stand, a mini DSP. It's quite inexpensive. These, I think they're about $200 round about there. So not much, but also, yeah, if you're adding this on top of the additional cost, so locally this will be about 3,000 Rand for a mic. We pay about, I know the price came down now on DRAC, I must just make sure, but I think it was 7,000 Rand for the license. So then you are 10,000 Rand in before you even started calibrating the system. So that can be a bit expensive, but you need to do it. It's like owning a supercar or a tuned car and not tuning it. It's gonna be faster, but you're losing a lot of the performance that's still under the water that you can unlock. So even your normal Odyssey, if you don't want to go the DRAC route, just download that app. It's like $300 South African Rand, cheaper for the dollar guys, and just use that. And then if you want to up your game, go DRAC, but I highly recommend doing it. Or hire a professional. Someone like me will come out, calibrate. You still need to buy the file. We don't make money off that file. That's your baby. Buy the file. Also, that file stays with the unit. So when you sell it, just know whoever buys it, the DRAC file goes with it. So you're not going to recoup that money. And then just the time to calibrate up the system, which is normally about 2 to 3 hours. But okay, let's get into a demo. I think I've said what I need to say. Brilliant systems. Yes, Ultra is better. Yes, Prime is also very good. So what you can do, let me play the demo, and then you can go back and listen to the one and the other and see if you can hear a difference. I'm going to do the same volume, which is reference, which I did last night. Jeez, that demo is just so darn good, guys. If you've not demoed that on your system, it's called Nightlife. Just the name is at the end there by the credits. And it's on the DTS-X demo disc. It's amazing. I stood there at the back listening to all the surrounds and the heights, and as they go up in space, as opens up, amazing. And when that tree, the bass, and love it. Go check it out. Goosebumps again all over the show. Started thinking while I was standing there, the next system I want to build when we move with all the SVS elevation speakers is a bed layer all around you. Imagine how cool that will be with elevation speakers up high facing towards you but all around. So when you sit in the sweet spot, everything is focused directly at you. I think it will be insane. 4 subs, imagine hitting 4 of these beasts or 4 of those 17s. That will be insanity, but it will be so nice. So yeah, end goals. Already this SVS system, it's power. If I can tell you, it is as close as can be to the big THX systems. We are there, but the thing is, with the Ultras, we are also on the same price. With the Primes, now we've gone down a lot. So with the Primes, you can build a modest, good budget system, but not about half the price of going for like the big THXs and Bowen Wilkins CT7s. You can save a lot of money and then just have a big subwoofer to pick up those low notes. Guys, so that's it for the comparison between the Ultra system and the Prime system. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you did, like, subscribe, share to all your friends so we can grow this channel. Until the next one, which at this point in time I do not know what it is. I've been pushing out so many videos for a while now. The SVS content is done, so I'm gonna have to start looking at the next thing, but there will be something. And I'll make sure it's nice, guys. Ooh, I already have an idea. I have a good idea. It's an insane idea. Stay tuned for that one on the next video. Cheers, guys. Bye.